Hey everyone, so it's been a minute. And since it's been so long, let's recap what we last did. Last episode we completed Razorfang Crawl and Downs, defeating Chargla, the leader of the Razorfang Quillboar, and Aminar, the Lich who was secretly controlling Quillboar society. And with them defeated, it's time to shift our focus somewhere else in Kalimdor, a little further north to the ruins known as Blackfathom Deeps. And also today we'll finally get our hands on that enchanting rod we've been trying to get for so long. But first things first, let's get into the dungeon's lore. Long ago, before this place was called Blackfathom Deeps, it was known as Lothar Lazal. It was a sprawling temple constructed to honor the moon goddess Elune, and this temple's construction was so important it was actually personally overseen by Queen Ashara. After they finished making the temple, Ashara loved how it came out, but she did see one thing that could be improved, and that was the water around it. She would use her powers to shape the waters into great lakes that surrounded the temple. Then she would populate these waters with the most exotic fish, and even a sea giant who she had trained to perform tricks and feats of strength. And yeah, Highborn would come visit this temple just to see a sea giant push a big boulder. And it continued like this, at least until the War of the Ancients, which I did discuss last episode, but it was the Burning Legion's first large-scale invasion of Azeroth. But one thing I didn't discuss is that when it happened, the map looked like this. And when the portal was closed, it caused the Sundering and split the world apart, making it look like present-day Azeroth. And blowing the world apart kinda sunk Lothar Lazal into the waves that surrounded it, leaving most of it inaccessible. And that's how it would remain, until the events of Classic. So, in Vanilla WoW, an old god-worshipping cult called the Twilight's Hammer moved into the ruins, and began using it for sacrifices. These sacrifices eventually manifested in a monstrous hydra named Akumai coming up from the depths. Akumai is a powerful agent of the old gods that the Twilight's Hammer would devote themselves to. They planned to empower Akumai by feeding him countless sacrifices to strengthen him in hopes he could devour the whole world. This would continue until a group of adventurers in Classic would defeat them and banish Akumai. But fast forward to the present day, and Twilight Lord Balthiel has taken control of the ruins once again and resummoned Akumai, planning to empower him just like his predecessors. So who better to deal with a murderous cult and eldritch horrors than Dunstuck?
Please help. We barely escaped the Twilight's
This
Hammer's
guy is in
sacrificial altar.
this guy's in bad shape. Oh my god. One quest. After checking out the wounded man and grabbing the dungeon's only quest, it was time to start carving our way towards the first boss. Oh, there's so many drops. Probably should have cleared out my inventory before this, but you know. Welcome guys. Get out of here.
Intruders! Murder the prisoners! Their flesh belongs to Lord Bathael. Come along, hero.
Oh my god.
Water is fine.
Really 10 out of 10 voice acting. Little shortcut for when I inevitably die to a boss. Oh man, this poor turtle.
Resisting my magic is useless, Gamora. Soon you will be under my power. Then I shall unleash your fury on these meddling heroes. Wait! Wait, it's too soon! No!
Oh my god. He turned them into skeletons. What's going on over there?
Please, you must save the others before Dominus sacrifices them.
I will. First, time for our first boss. The first boss of the Deeps is Gamura. He's an ancient turtle that has lived in these caves long before the Twilight's Hammer ever moved in. But years of mental and physical torture from the cultists has driven him mad, causing him to lash out against anyone who comes near. Gamura's first ability is Shell Shocker, where he charges towards you, dealing damage to anyone he hits. Then once he arrives at the end of his path, he unleashes a burst of energy, damaging anyone around him. And his second ability is Static Shock, which makes it so every 3 seconds he shoots electricity out, damaging the nearest player. Pretty simple mechanics wise, so let's look at his drops. And unfortunately, all he's got for us is a pair of plate shoulders, which, I mean, I wouldn't say no to, but I wish he had a couple more. Without further ado, let's put this poor turtle out of his misery. Okay. That's how Shell Shocker works. Well, it's very easy to avoid this because there's only one person he can go at. Man, probably should have cleared up these turtles first. Oh my god, dude. Avenger Shield's actually ruining me. Keep pulling all these extra turtles. Okay. Turtle's done. Finally made the fight back to how difficult it's supposed to be. Not more difficult for literally no reason. But this boss is pretty simple. He does a good amount of damage with his lightning strikes, but you just kind of build up to heal and then dodge him when he does his shell spin attack. Shell Shocker, that's what it's called. And just about there. Our first boss down. Gouging pick. Mining tool. Can't use that. Oh, it's his son. Oh. Like father, like son. With Gamura and his son dealt with, it was time to start heading towards our next boss. There we go. Okay, second boss time. Let's get it. The next boss is the first of a few in the new Blackfathom Deeps that canonically killed a boss from the classic version of the dungeon, and this boss is Domina, who killed the classic boss, Lady Cerevis. Cerevis was killed because she failed to provide magical protection to the temple, and unlike Cerevis, Domina has no fear of Akuma, and even hand feeds corpses to the creature to earn its favor. Now, this boss sounds much scarier than she really is. In reality, it's a pretty simple fight. Now, she has two main abilities. Her first one is Foul Tempest, which summons a tornado that makes you take damage over time. And her second one is Maw of Death, which blasts anyone in front of her for shadow damage. See? Pretty basic. Loot-wise, she has a one-handed sword and some plate pants. Some good drops, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, let's give this boss a shot. That's Maw of Death. That's very easy to dodge. And then she just stands there for a couple seconds after. Or does it just fall wherever I am? Okay, so just keep moving during that. Okay. Seems pretty simple. Yeah, this boss is really easy. And that should be second boss done. Ow. Okay. Oh, and no drops, of course. Altar of Blood? Here's all stats by 10%. Oh, sick. As I mentioned in the intro, here's the old Blackfathom Deeps boss that was here. He's dead. That's a sick buff. I wonder if that only works in here. Oh, second boss down. Let's keep on moving. Now with two bosses down, it was time to start heading towards our third. I don't know if I need to fight these, but I'm going to anyway. Oh my god, they've got me. Third boss. Let's get it. The third boss is Subjugator Corol. This big swig guy is one of the toughest enforcers in the Twilight's Hammer, and his job here was to purge the caves of anything they couldn't control. And his victim was Gelihast, the Murloc boss from the original dungeon. Corol also has two abilities. The first one is Leviathan's Grip, where he picks you up and deals damage to you over 8 seconds. And his second is Darkness Calls, where he summons Akamai to feed, which basically just summons tentacles around the room that slam down. Seems pretty basic, but I am a little concerned about Leviathan's Grip. Things can get pretty bad if I'm stuck in it and can't heal myself. Now onto his loot. He's got a pair of plate gloves and a ring we could get, so pretty decent. Now, it's time to subjugate the Subjugator. Yeah, this is not actually that bad. He doesn't do a lot of damage over that time. I just have to, and you know it's coming, so I have like a sec to heal up. Oh, well this is going to not be good. Oh, they can't damage you with the tentacle slam while you're in that. Okay, this isn't going to be bad at all then. Get out of the tentacle slam. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward if this is the whole fight. Didn't get to heal. Didn't have it. Okay, that was my fault. That was bad management. Okay, we'll get back there. We'll try that again. Okay, this is going better than last time, but I kind of have to stay focused because if I mess up, it's very easy just to get hit with Leviathan's Grasp at low health and then not a lot of counterplay. Yeah, the timing can be a little scary there. He can let you go as soon as the tentacles slam. That could be an issue. Potentially. This will be his last Leviathan's Grasp. We should kill him pretty quick after we get let go. And there we go. Oh. What's happening? No, the Murlocs!
I can't carry anymore.
Murloc slop pile. Go Murloc slop onto Twilight Hammer's Cultists. Okay, well that was that boss. That was pretty fun. Had to use my brain there. But we are moving on. So, with Corol dealt with, it was time to start making our way towards the inner sanctum of Blackfathom Deeps. Whoa! That's sick. Oh, I have more. Wait, can I use... This guy's a boss later. What if I use it on him? Doesn't get him. I can use it on this guy, though. Oh, no, I can't. He's running.
Ritual must not be disturbed.
Inventory is full. I need to get closer. Inventory is...
Ooh.
Fall back to the sanctum. Lord Bathael's ritual must not
That's
be disturbed.
pulling in a crab.
Thruck, do not let them pass. Thruck, what? Guardian treasure.
Okay, well, I guess it is What boss are we on? Fourth boss time. Now, our fourth boss is Thruck, who may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he is good at smashing things. Thruck is obsessed with finding an elusive creature named the Guardian of the Deep, and he believes if he does, he'll find vast troves of gold and other treasures. Now, this fight is pretty simple. Firstly, he'll use Catch of the Day to pull you toward him, and then try to combo with his second ability, Fillet of Flesh, where he slams the ground dealing 500% weapon damage to anyone near him. So basically just make sure not to get hit with this. Other than that though, seems like smooth sailing. His drops are actually pretty unique. Well, at least one of them. He has a necklace, which is pretty standard, but his other drop is a fishing rod, which is neat, but totally useless as we have no way to learn fishing. Anyways, let's go for it. No, we let the crab get away. Ooh. That roots me for 10 seconds. Yeah, I don't know how much that'll do if it hits me, but I don't really want to find out because the description says like 500% weapon damage or something absurd. I'm gonna be real. So far, Thruck just kind of feels like a big punching bag. Doesn't do a lot of damage and he takes a lot, honestly. He's really degrading with his catch voice lines, man. Hurting my feelings. And it'd be Thruck. Down. Yes, no boss drops. Awesome. You love to see it. Oh. Moving on, I guess. Let's go look for the crab he was trying to reel in. I actually don't remember where it spawns, so I will actually have to go searching. So after Thruck, it was time to go after the very crab he wanted to get his hands on. Let's make our way there. Wait, underwater? Guardian eggs? Oh, now, okay. Here's my swim speed. I cannot breathe. Okay, so we're just gonna break down quick and then we'll get into it. This boss is exactly who the last one was looking for, the elusive Guardian of the Deep. And just because it's a crab, don't think they're a joke. They're actually our third boss who killed a classic boss. He killed old Sarkis and took over his territory, and now the Guardian watches over thousands of eggs, waiting to unleash them upon the waters of Azeroth. Ability-wise, it's actually our first boss with 3. Its first ability is Spore Cloud, where it shoots out egg sacs in random directions which deal damage if they hit you and spawn a brood of crabs. Next, it can use Devour to eat these crabs and regain 25% of its HP back. So very important we make sure to kill any of those crabs so it can't use this to heal. And finally it has Shattering Song, where the Guardian lets out a loud screech that does AoE damage around it. And it turns out Thruck was wrong about the Guardian. It isn't guarding vast swaths of gold, it's guarding one cape. I'm not really super concerned about this boss mechanics wise, but I am concerned about the fact it's all underwater. So let's hope we can kill him faster than we can drown. I'm curious if I can go back there and get some breath. I don't want the fight to reset. I'm gonna check if I can go get some breath. I think I probably can. Can I go up here? No, that resets the fight. Do we have to do this in one breath? Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Let's wait for him to respawn, get full mana, and then go for this. As full of breath as possible. Yeah, let's go. As high a DPS as possible. Okay, I think this will be possible. We're both like 50%, and once I get under 20% health on her, my damage does pick up a lot because I can use Hammer of Wrath. Seems to be it. Like, this is close though. Yeah, this will be it. And no drops, but let's get out of here before I drown. So with the Guardian down, it was time to make our way out of the water and back to the temple. Leave. Now I fight this guy. So, next boss time? So guarding the way to the sanctum, we find our next boss, Executioner Gore. He's the one responsible for collecting sacrifices to feed to Akamai, and his kit is fairly basic. First, he has Devouring Blackness, where he immobilizes everyone around him and drains health from them over 6 seconds. His second ability is Executioner Strike, where he strikes the ground, dealing AoE damage around himself and shooting a cone of damage in front of him, which over time turns into a vortex that takes shadow damage. So yeah, that one does a lot of different things. And on to loot. Just like our last boss, all he has is a cloak for us. But you know what time it is. Let's execute the Executioner. Very small arena to fight him in. Seems like he can't use the ability where he drains health from you in solo. We're at 20%. I feel like he would have used it already, right? Or not at 20%. We're down 20%. You know what I meant. Seems like he just uses this. It's just pretty easy to avoid. Oh no, unless this is it. Oh yeah, he does use it. Never mind. Ow, that hurts. That's pretty simple though. I like his design. It's cool looking. Big Twilight Hammer Orc Man. Rid of this. We're fine. Yeah, we're fine. I was a little nervous there, but seems we're all good. We should be able to kill him before he heals again, so. And there we go. We get a drop. Yes! We finally get a drop. I don't even know if it's better, but I'm equipping it. So how many bosses? We haven't got a drop. Razorfen Downs was 5 bosses. We didn't get a single drop in Razorfen Downs. And then 10 bosses. We didn't get a drop in 10 bosses. So with Gore defeated, it was time to keep pushing forward, as only a few more enemies separated us from the leader of the Blackfathom Deeps cultists. Okay. Second last boss. This is the guy I am probably the most worried about. So, let's break him down. Now that we're in the Sanctum, we find our next boss, Twilight Lord Balthiel. And he's our final boss who killed an older one. He came in and was disgusted by former Twilight Lord Kelbrus' failure and fed him alive to Akumai. And his intimidating reputation lives up to the hype. Balthiel's the fight I'm the most afraid of in this dungeon, and that's because of his main ability, Restorative Waters, where he shoots out a bunch of elementals from himself, and if they reach him, they will heal him for 5% of his total HP. So it's essentially a race to try to DPS these down fast enough to stop him from healing to full every time he uses it. His second ability is not that bad though. It's Piercing Rain, which drops rain on you that deals frost damage. He does have a drop I would love though, which is a plate helmet. Anyways, let's hope we can get this one done. What is this gonna be like? Okay, these are killable. I can't kill all of these. I don't know how to deal with that. Now he's full health again. This fight. I don't know how to... Can you leave this room, or will you reset? Yeah, okay, he'll reset. Intriguing. I don't know how to clear those out fast enough to stop them from healing him to full every time. I'm going to save you the time of me blubbering around trying to figure this out. So if you look at this clip, you'll see I reduced this first elemental's health to 0, but the second one just dies without me killing it. This is because you don't actually have to fully damage down these elementals. They die if you step on them, which changes my plan drastically. Now instead of trying to DPS down 30 elementals, we can just hop on our divine steed and run them all over. So with this new knowledge in mind, let's get back to the fight. So let's try again and try that. Okay. That's not that bad then. Okay, this is doable then. I will not have Divine Steed for this one, so I am kind of worried, honestly. This guy's close. Guy's close. Divine Steed. A great line. Wow. We're getting good at this. 50%. Probably only have to see 1-2 more of those if we can keep them consistent. Should be able to... Yeah, there we go. Yes, dude. So with Battlefield defeated, there is only one boss left for us to take on. Akumai himself. Let's make our way there. Okay. Akumai, the Devourer. Final boss. Let's go for it. The final boss of the dungeon is Akumai, the Great Hydra. He's ravenous, and the Twilight Hammer believe he could devour the entire world. But in reality, this creature only carries a small fragment of the power of the old gods. Now, Akumai has a lot of abilities, and his first is Venom, where he spits at you and deals some damage. Next is Falling Debris, which causes rocks from the cavern to fall on you every 3 seconds, which just damage you if they hit you. And this next ability is the one that gets complicated. It's Tearing the Void, which summons another part of Akumai's body to enter the world. Now this can either be a tentacle, which will crush, which slams the ground similar to the ones in the Kurul fight, or another entire head, which can use Venom and a new ability called Toxic Bile, which is similar to Venom but leaves a pool of poison on the ground which ticks for damage if you're in it. Yeah, so seems like a lot flying around. I imagine this is going to be kind of a bullet hell situation, but let's talk loot before jumping in. Akamai is 1 drop, and it's a pair of plate boots, which I would have gone crazy for a few episodes ago, but it's not an upgrade we desperately need right now. But without any further ado, let's end Akamai's threat to Azeroth once and for all. Very hard to see him from this angle, so we're just going to be looking at... Okay, there we go. I zoomed the camera out. It's kind of nuts. What's happening? Like, it feels like a lot's happening, yet nothing's happening. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot going on. There's like the falling debris. There's all these tentacles. There's a second Akamai head. Oh, it doesn't have a lot of health though. What is he doing? Dude, chill. Yeah, this fight is very underwhelming. When I read him and started this fight, I was like, wow, seems like a lot is going to happen here, and I'm really going to have to lock in. But this guy is not even as hard as the previous boss. I would say he's on the same level as Thruck, and all Thruck did was pull you in with a fishing rod. But that should be Akamai done just about now. Panther shield. I want a shield. Let's get a new shield. That's a cool shield. And did we get a drop? And we did get a drop. Not a huge upgrade, but that's a new drop. I'll take a drop. And that is Blackfathom Deeps. Done and dusted. And with Akamai's defeat, we've officially cleared Blackfathom Deeps. But this episode isn't over quite yet. Let's go get that enchanting rod. Okay, and here I am in Stormwind, right next to the stockades, at Cordell's Enchanting.
What are you looking
And we can buy our copper rod and our strange dust.
Safe travel.
That means we can go out here, classic, and we can make our runed copper rod. There it is. Now, this allows us, let's go to, on enchant we do. What should we enchant first? So, let's say we want to enchant our weapon with greater impact on our weapon, which makes it do... Oh, can I not enchant my weapon? Or do I have to unequip it? Oh, why can't I enchant this? So, let's enchant our shield then. How do I... Okay, it's there. How do I do it now? Oh, I don't have the recipes. Oh my goodness. I'm a fool. I thought I could use this the whole time. Okay, we're gonna have to go back to Alderman and learn some recipes, so I will be right back. So yeah, I'm kind of an idiot for this. I have no idea why I just assumed you would have all the classic enchants unlocked. It's not like that with any other skill. But anyways, I was hopeful maybe we could find an enchantment that we could use from the enchanting trainer. And on the way there, we happened to level up to 25. And with our level 25 skill point, I used it to get Redoubt, which makes it so armor granted by Shield of the Righteous increased up to 60% based on our missing health. So a pretty good durability buff. But let's get to that enchanting trainer. Okay, and finally, after about 13 minutes of Alderman.
Need help?
Can we even learn any of these? Available. Lesser Magic Wand. Minor Health. Okay. These are strange dust enchants. Oh my goodness. So here's the conundrum. All of the enchants that I do have the level for require strange dust, which I can't get. And all of the enchants I don't have the level or recipe for require the materials I have. So even if I could get the recipe for the enchants I want, I can't level the skill high enough to be able to actually use it. So here's the idea. Would you guys be open to me doing something like exchanging 5 brilliant shards for 1 strange dust? This way I still have to disenchant gear to get materials, but I can actually trade it in for materials I can use to level the skill. But that's just an idea. If you have a better way you think I could convert this, or if you just don't want me to do this at all, let me know in the comments. But with enchanting being a massive failure, I think that's where we're gonna have to end it for today. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I know we didn't really get to do any enchanting, but at least we may have laid the framework for getting to do some in the future. And yeah, it's probably about time I addressed the elephant in the room. This video took a little longer to come out than previous ones. Little is a bit of an understatement. But yeah, essentially I went through some pretty big changes in my personal life, but things are much more stable now, so expect more regular uploads in the future. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and go Blue Jays.